My name's Daniel. 3 years ago, my best friend of 15 years stole my wife. He didn't punch me. He didn't threaten me. He didn't have to. He just smiled at my wedding, hugged me at my daughter's birthday party, and quietly took everything I had. So I didn't scream. I didn't fight. I did something worse. I got patient. Marcus and I grew up on the same street. We started a logistics company together in our 20s. Nothing fancy, just trucks and contracts. But we built it from nothing. And by our 30s, it was worth real money. I trusted him with my business. I trusted him with my house key. I trusted him with my wife, Elena, whenever I was traveling for work. That was my first mistake. I was gone 11 days a month for contracts. Marcus said he'd check in on Elena. I thought that was kindness. It took me 2 years to notice the pattern. 2 years of late replies, deleted messages, and Marcus always coincidentally free whenever I wasn't home. I found the photo by accident, a dinner receipt, a hotel confirmation email, forwarded to the wrong address. I didn't confront them that night. I sat in my car outside my own house for 3 hours because I realized something in that moment. If I exploded, I'd lose. I'd look unstable. I'd hand them the story. Poor Elena, trapped with an angry husband. So I made a decision that night. I wasn't going to get mad. I was going to get exact. The next morning, I hired a lawyer. Not a divorce lawyer. Not yet. A business lawyer. Because here's what Marcus forgot. Our company wasn't just built on friendship. It was built on paperwork. And paperwork doesn't care about feelings. 3 years earlier, when we expanded the company, Marcus had begged me to let him take a smaller equity share in exchange for a guaranteed salary. He needed stability for a mortgage. I agreed. I didn't need the money then. I needed it now. I called our 2 silent investors, men Marcus never bothered building relationships with, because he thought I was the charming one. I was. I offered them a buyout of Marcus's remaining shares at fair market value, using a clause he signed and never read closely. An underperformance and conduct review trigger tied to company reputation risk. Turns out, sleeping with the co-owner's wife while representing the company at client dinners counts as reputational risk. He didn't see it coming. Because Marcus thought the war would be loud, I made it silent. Next came Elena. I want to be clear. I didn't hate her. 15 years of marriage doesn't disappear into pure anger. Some of it turns into grief. But grief doesn't mean weakness. When I filed for divorce, I didn't fight over the house out of spite. I fought over it because I'd paid 80% of the mortgage from company dividends. Dividends that were about to shrink dramatically, thanks to Marcus's little conduct review. Suddenly the man she left me for wasn't a confident business co-owner anymore. He was a guy with a lawsuit, a shrinking bank account, and a reputation that client after client was quietly walking away from. I kept the house. I kept my daughter's school in the same district. I kept my dignity. Elena kept Marcus, which, as it turns out, was its own kind of punishment. 8 months later, Marcus was out of the company completely. His name was quietly removed from every client contract. Turns out, when people found out why he left, most of them didn't want to work with him anyway. Nobody wants a logistics partner they can't trust behind closed doors. And Elena? She learned something I already knew. Marcus was charming when he had money, status, and my company's reputation behind him. Without it, he was just a guy. Meanwhile, I rebuilt. Smaller company, fewer headaches, better partners. My daughter started staying with me full weekends. I started sleeping again. Then, one night, I got a message. From Marcus. 15 years of friendship, reduced to 6 words on a screen. I thought about it. I really did. Because some small, tired part of me remembered the kid who used to split his lunch with me in 5th grade. But then, I remembered 11 days a month. I remembered the hotel receipt. I remembered 3 hours alone in a dark car outside my own house. I typed back 4 words. We're even now. Goodbye. Then I blocked his number. Not out of anger, out of peace. Because revenge isn't about destroying someone in a single explosive moment. Real revenge is patient. It's legal. It's quiet. And it doesn't need witnesses. Just paperwork, timing, and the willingness to wait. People always ask me if I regret how I handled it. Honestly, no. I didn't ruin Marcus's life. I just stopped protecting him from the consequences of his own choices. Sometimes the loudest revenge is simply refusing to lose. If someone ever betrays you, don't get mad. Get strategic.